Hello, everybody. Welcome to Postpartum Perspectives. I'm one of your hosts, Julia Kavanaugh. I'm a postpartum doula, birth doula, and newborn care specialist, and one of the teachers at Postpartum Doula Academy.
And I am Nancy Ham, and I am Gentle Ventures Training, and I also help a little bit with Postpartum Doula Academy. Julie is the main teacher there because she is the doula. I am not. So I train newborn care specialists, and just want you to thank you for being here. We really, really appreciate that. This is going to be a really different one. I'm thinking about naming this something like Only This Time and Never Again. Because we just feel like we want you guys to know us a little bit better, rather than just two people who are speaking out at you a couple times a week. We want you to kind of be able to connect with us. So today is going to be more of a personal conversation between Julia and I, some relating to business, some relating to our personal lives, some relating to who knows what. We have not planned this at all. We tried to, and it was just like, yeah, let's just do it.
Let's just do it.
So who knows what's going to happen? Yeah.
Yeah. So Nancy,
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking that we can start with you.
Okay.
So I'm really curious to hear about the beginning of you working with babies. Like, when did it start? And when did you know, like, this is what I want to do with my life?
It was really interesting because it was about, I want to say 30, I think it's 33, 34 years now. I was in a new relationship, had just moved to Florida, and knew I wanted to do something, but I didn't know what because I had no education in anything really. So
why was that? Why did you have no education?
I didn't think I was smart enough to go to college.
Now, isn't that ironic? You're one of the smartest people I know.
Well, and the thing was, my parents, of course, their objective in my life was to get married and have kids. That's it.
Yeah.
So there was never any encouragement to go to college or go to any schooling after high school. They sent me to a Bible college, actually, so that I could get the right kind of man. And so that is the boy's father. Yeah, so I met him at the Bible college, and then had three boys, and then left him.
Wait, did you have a major at the Bible college, or was it just an MRS?
Bible. It was Bible. They did a few other things, like I took some child psychology courses, but basically it was a Bible college that you majored in Bible.
Whoa, everybody there majored in Bible. Wow. And so today I know you, and you're not a Bible major anymore.
No.
I wouldn't say. Like, how would you describe yourself today?
I'm a spiritual person. I went through a phase in my life where I did not want anything to do with God anymore, or church anymore, or religion anymore. And I still don't want to do anything with religion or church.
Yeah.
I am a spiritual person, and I have changed my whole belief system since then, and I'm much, much more comfortable with my belief system now than I was then. But yeah, so anyway.
How does that play into what you do with babies?
Okay, so anyway, the one thing I loved when I was married was taking care of my babies. That was my life. I mean, I was a pretty good mom. So when I started this new relationship, my kids were older, and I moved to Florida, and I had done some office work, and I was like, nah. So I decided I want to get back into babies, what I loved. You're always told, do what you love. What do I love? I loved working with my babies, being home with my babies, taking care of my babies.
Mm.
So I actually found a lady who worked for, oh God, what was the name of the company? It was a big, huge company. I can't remember the name of it right now. And anyway, I got more work from her after that. But I took care of her two little girls from newborn to about 2.5.
Wow.
And that's kind of what started it. And
Yeah.
but that was daytime. That was only nanny work.
Yeah.
And then I came back to Phoenix, and I had a lady call me from an agency. Would you like to work nights? And I'm like, no, not interested.
Yeah.
Need to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay. Week later, are you sure you don't want to work nights? No, I don't want to work nights. She bugged the heck out of me till finally I said to her, look, I will do one night job for you, and then will you leave me alone? She says, one night job is all I want. She set me up with triplets
On your first night job.
on my first night job with triplets who the mother wanted to sleep train.
Oh my
I
God.
had no idea
Oh my
what
goodness.
sleep training was.
Yeah.
I had taken care, just a minute, had I taken care of, yes, I had taken care of twins at that point, but I had no triplet experience, no sleep training experience. And the mom was like, I'll tell you what to do and you just do it. And I'm like, okay.
Hey.
And that was my first job, and I never went back to nannying. Although I'll have to say, while I was doing the triplet job, I was taking care of twins during the day.
Whoa.
So, and I did that for a year. I stayed with the twins job. They were newborn also. I stayed with the twins job for a year until I really established myself in the night business, because I knew I had to have work, and I knew it could be difficult to find work unless I was really established in it. So I stayed busy from the time I did the triplets till I retired.
Question here. Because you said that you had a relationship in
Mhm.
Florida, but then you came to Phoenix.
Uh-huh.
Did you have a relationship while you were doing the day and the night
That
work?
was that, yeah, that was here in Phoenix.
How did you have time for a
Now, just
relationship?
a minute, I got to think about that. Just a minute. Was I still in that relationship? I think I was still in that relationship. I was not in that relationship very long after we got back to Phoenix.
Okay.
I was with him for 13 years, and then after we got back to Phoenix, I left him.
Yeah.
But I can't remember. I think I was, though. I think I was. But there
How
wasn't
do
much
you
of a
do that?
relationship. There wasn't much of a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't, ladies, you can't do that. You cannot. Well, I mean, if you have to do it in order to establish yourself, we'll kind of do anything we have to do in order to do that.
Yeah.
But basically, I know that there's a lot of NCSs, married NCSs who started out married, who are not married anymore because
It's
of the job. It is hard to do night work and not be able to sleep next to the one you love.
yeah. Yeah. It's hard
It's
for
hard for
both.
them too.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, wow. Wow. That's so fascinating. Okay, so you did that. You did that for a year.
Mhm.
And then so these babies, did you do the night with the same babies for a year?
No, 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 just for, oh God, was it 3 months or was it 6 weeks? It's been so long, I'd have to look at my resume. But yeah,
Basically. Yeah, but like a newborn time.
yeah.
And then you went on to other
Mhm.
nighttime newborns. How did your body handle that? Like,
It wasn't a problem at that time. In fact, it's never been a problem for my body to handle it, but I think it was because I took so much. I'm very structured. I'm
yes.
very organized. I listen to my body. I
Yeah,
always took at least a 2 week break between a job. Always. From
good.
the time I started, I always did that
Okay.
because I knew that my body needed that rest and that relaxation. And I always slept when the baby slept. Some people can't do that. Some people are just like laying awake like this. As soon as I was back in that bed, I was sleeping.
Wow.
It was
Yeah,
just like my head
your
hit the
brain
pillow and
was
I was
able.
gone. Yep. Yep.
Which is like every mom's dream, right? Like
Yeah.
we send the babies home with mom, and then we're like, just sleep when the baby sleeps.
It's
And
not that
I mean,
easy.
it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. And moms are biologically wired to wake up to every tiny little sound.
Right.
Um, so that makes sense that for us who are not genetically related to the baby, we can hear the grunts
Mm-hmm.
and be like, okay, you're all right.
You're okay.
I'm still resting.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep. Absolutely.
Wow.
So now do we get to go into you?
No, we're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Oh, shoot.
Why it's called once and never again. Um, so okay, fast forward. Like,
Okay.
what do you feel like being an NCS has given you in your life? Like, what have you been able to do because you've been an NCS that you wouldn't have been able to do otherwise?
I was able to start my own business,
Wow.
and that carries me through retirement. I was able, it's all pretty much financial for me
Yeah.
because my whole, I'm a single person.
Yep.
I had nobody. Since I left my last relationship, it's been 25 years. I was just thinking the other day, I've spent half of my life alone.
Wow.
I have spent half of my life alone. And it's just like, wow, that's actually pretty cool because I'm very comfortable. I don't want anything else in my life. But back to why I was able to pay off my house that I live in right now in 6 years because of my job. I saved 1/3 of every. Okay, my retainer is 1/3.
Okay.
That retainer never left my bank account,
Yes.
so
Right.
that's what I retired on.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, that's brilliant.
yeah.
Even
So,
after the contract ended, it
oh no,
stayed.
it never left.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
I still have little envelopes that have the names and how much retainer it was, and yeah,
That's so smart.
yeah.
We could do like a whole business class. Nancy offers business advice. Like I would
Well,
take
and
notes.
and then I did start my business, Gentle Ventures, and that has been I've loved doing that. I love doing the teaching,
Yeah.
and it's all residual income. So I teach once every 2 years. I teach a course or
Yeah.
a set of courses. So that every year I am doing some teaching.
And you're updating it
I'm
too.
updating it, setting it back on, and that's about the only thing I do other than collect the money and mentor. I do a lot of mentoring, and I love that. I love
And now
that.
you're doing in-person classes with me.
Well, yeah, and I've always done in-person classes too, and now I get to do them with Julia, and that's so much easier and so much more fun.
Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you were gonna make a joke, and that's a pain in my
Oh
butt.
no, no, no. I will make a joke about some things, but not that. Not
Oh,
that. That's
I
you've been a
agree.
lifesaver.
Same, Nancy.
Really, really, really appreciate you.
Oh, ditto. Okay, but I had another question, and it was, uh, okay, so here's a hard one. Your son passed, one of your sons
Hmm.
passed away in during COVID.
Hmm.
How did you handle continuing being a businesswoman while dealing with the grief of what was happening in your personal life?
Okay. That to me is an easy question
Okay.
because my spiritual beliefs is what helped me through, along with homeopathy.
Okay.
So y'all know that I do natural medicine. Homeopathy is one of the things I do. And there are homeopathic remedies that can help you deal with grief. It's not going to make it go away. You're still going to feel the grief, but you don't feel the power of the grief. You know, sometimes you're overwhelmed with power. You can't stop, or overwhelmed with grief, and you can't stop crying, or you can't get your life together. You can't operate. But homeopathy takes that edge off. So I worked with two things. The first thing was that I honestly 100% believe that we don't go until we are supposed to go.
I
And I
agree.
believe that we've planned that before we even left what some people consider heaven, or our souls came back and reincarnated.
Yeah.
So I believe that he was sitting up there and he said, on 12/12/21, it's going to be time for me to go. I have done everything that I needed to do, and now I need to come back home. And I really believe that. And because I believe that so strongly, it was so much easier for me to understand the whole process.
Wow.
And I mean, I still can't believe he's not here.
Yeah.
They still expect me to walk through the door. And I'm not saying still don't cry about it, but yeah, that's what got me through. And of course, my family was my other two boys. They didn't leave my side for like 2 or 3 weeks. They were always somebody was always here with me, and
Oh.
it was just yeah, it was good. It was okay.
Were you working during that time?
I was working during that time. I was on a job. And
Whoa.
I told the people that my son had passed, and they're like, "Oh, do you want time off?" And I said, "No, I think I'm okay." And I worked through it.
So you worked
Yes,
as you processed.
yes,
You are
I
you are a
know,
very
an
special
idiot.
lady. You are an idiot. No.
I'm an idiot. I could have had all this time off. They probably would have paid me.
No, like that's amazing. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Because I know because we all will experience hardships in our life and it's like do we work through those do we work while we experience those hardships? Do we abandon jobs because it's too much? And if there ever was a time to abandon a job, the death of somebody that we love
Hmm.
deeply would be a reason to.
Absolutely.
Um,
But you have to remember too, Julia, it's all in perception.
yeah,
Everything is perception. You perceive something one way, another person perceives something another way.
yeah,
See, somebody could have perceived the death of my son as a medical thing because we honestly believe the doctors really messed up. So we could just dwell on that and make that our focal point and really make it a bad time in our life. But we all, as a family, decided, that this was what it was.
yeah. There's also a little one in your life now.
Well, yes, there is, and I have. If you've ever been to my classes, one of the things I say when we do. I'm going to shut that door a minute. She can be so good, and then she thinks she hears something.
Oh, yes, go for it.
Um, you've been in my classes, so you know me that I say this. I'm not an animal person.
Yeah.
I am not an animal. I don't like dogs. I don't like cats. It's not that I don't like them. I just don't want. I don't want any. And then
Yeah.
Lily came into my life.
And who's Lily?
Lily is my little puppy that I
Yeah.
just adore. First dog I have ever had. First animal, well, other than rabbits, that I have really ever had. And she is just like the spoiled little center of my life.
She is.
So,
I've been to your house and you're like, oh, let me just put away some of this food. I've been making her, I've been like
mm-hmm.
making all of her food for
Yep,
the next few weeks.
yep. Okay, dear, it's your turn. Enough
Okay,
talking
fine.
about me. Enough
Fine.
talking about me.
Right.
Julia, tell me
Yeah.
what got you into this business and give me a little bit of background on your life.
Yeah. So I first started babysitting when I was 17. And the first kid that I babysat was a baby. I mean, thank goodness these parents were like, we trust you.
Yeah,
Here's our infant.
here's our baby. We trust you.
Here's our infant.
Mm.
But I just loved it. It felt like getting to be with that little one was such a gift to me, and I got to like soothe her and change her and like all the stuff that I'd been practicing when I was like 2 and 3 years old with my baby dolls, you know. Um, when I was little, my mom and I would like go to the grocery store and I'd take my little baby doll with me. And like while we're going down the frozen food aisle, I'd be like, "Oh, she's hungry," and I'd lift up my shirt and put her to the chest, and my mom would say, "Julia, put your shirt down." Um,
That's
oh
precious.
gosh, yeah. So it
And you were
started.
17 at that time?
I was 17 when I started babysitting, and
When you were
then
going through the grocery store nursing your baby?
no. I was two. I was two with the grocery store thing. Um, Gosh, but this, I've always wanted to have kids. I don't have any kids yet, but getting to work with babies has really calmed that part of me that's like, I need to be around babies because I get to be around other people's babies and I get to be around mothers and help them in their recovery. So it really like satisfies that like deep desire. So it started at 17, and I thought it would be a one-off, but then they loved me so much that they referred me to their friends, and then their friends referred me to their friends. And before I knew it, like I was going to college. My degree was in international studies with a focus on development and applied political economy in East Asia with a minor in Chinese.
Oh my God, girl. I didn't know that.
Right. So naturally,
Naturally, you're going to go into
well,
babies.
I became a doula. That's right. But I was working with babies while I was like, I didn't have any training. I didn't know that you needed training. I was
Yeah,
like, oh, it's just babies, pick
yeah.
them up when they cry and I had no skills as far other than my intuition, and I didn't know that that was even a thing. Um, So then fast forward after college, I moved to Los Angeles to be an actor. Because that also works with international studies and applied political economy. And I thought I'd be a server and I would wait tables. I tried that, absolutely hated it. And I said, this is going to crush my soul and I won't have anything to give to the world. So I need to have a job while I'm trying to be an actor that actually gives me energy and doesn't take away from it. So it's like, well, what do I love? It's babies. So I found a family that the mom had just had a baby 3 weeks early, and they were looking for someone to help take care of her and the baby while she recovered. And so it was like a mother's helper type of thing. So I did doula work without knowing that it was doula
Hmm.
work, right? I helped prepare meals for her. I made sure she always had a glass of water. I helped with the baby. I stayed with that family until that baby was 4 years old.
Oh my goodness.
I absolutely fell in love with that family, and they paid my entry into SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, because I didn't have that money saved up. And they were like, Julia, we believe in you. We love you so much. We're going to pay it for you.
Oh, how wonderful.
I
Wow.
mean, and then that little boy was my ring bearer at my wedding. And I'm not in that relationship anymore, but he was very special. And then they referred me to other people. But then, gosh, at some point I was like, a friend of mine was becoming a birth doula. And I was like, huh, I work with the people after birth, but it'd be really fun to work with some people before birth.
Right.
So I got my training as a birth doula, and I found out that there's actually training for the postpartum part too. And I was like, I didn't know this was a thing. So I got my training as a postpartum doula. And gosh, and then families just kept referring me. Like I didn't do any advertising. It was just word of mouth.
Great.
Um, and I got nights pretty fast. Once I got my postpartum doula training done, uh, I don't know how people found out that I could take care of their babies at night. Oh my gosh. No, I remember. I applied for a job. It was on care.com. And it was this sleep deprived family. P.S. I love them today. We're still, I get very close to my families. Like if there's a default or like if there's a downside of me and what I do, it's that I get very close to my families and it's very hard for me to say goodbye and them too. But so then they just end up in my wedding. Um, um, but okay, so get this, Nancy. I'm in LA. I'm 25 years old. I've had my training, but I'm on care.com and I text I write this the dad had said, I need help. My wife just had a C-section. Our baby needs someone to be with them at night so my wife can recover. And I write that the person that night and they're like, "Yes, please come over at 10 p.m. tonight." No contract, no phone conversations.
No
I didn't know,
interview. Wow.
no interview. I was just like, well, I guess this is how it's done in this world. And they're on care.com. It's probably fine. And it was, but like I wouldn't do that today. So I was like, okay, sure. So as I'm driving at 9:30 at night, I'm like, is this a good idea? Like, I don't know these people. I'm going to a random house I've never been to before. And I park in front and I'm like, God, please let me survive.
I've been on jobs like that. Yeah.
And I show up, I knock, and this like very tired, exhausted dad answers the door, and he's like, "Are you Julia?" And I was like, "Yeah, hi, nice to meet you." And I'm like, "I've actually got some tools for you. I've got some papers." He's like, "It's okay, I don't need that. Come on in." He's like, "That's the baby's room. We're gonna be in here, okay? All right, good night." He shuts the door,
Oh my goodness.
and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, so and they loved me with their baby. Um, so they referred me to other friends who had babies and eventually I came into like I found out that there was a lot that I didn't know about newborns. Like I knew about how to check in on newborns, change diapers appropriately, make sure the temperature was good
Your
and
postpartum doula training.
yes, the postpartum
Yeah.
doula training. I knew how to prepare bottles and um, help with breastfeeding, although a lot of the moms didn't really want help with breastfeeding in LA anyway. But they did want to know, like, oh, what do I do about this cradle cap? Or, oh,
Hmm.
what do I do about like this umbilical cord? Like, is it normal that it looks like this right now? And I was like, maybe let's talk to your pediatrician. Um, so I found out that there was actually training for newborn care and that was with you. So I took your training and I learned so much.
Did you take
And
it in person or over the internet?
I took it online. I took
Oh,
your training,
okay.
but I had a question. There was something about your training. I had a question and I remember writing, thinking, oh no, I called the number because you listed your number.
Hmm.
And I was like, there's no way she's picking up, but I'm gonna call and see if somebody can answer my question. And you picked up. And I was like, oh my God, are you Nancy Ham? You're like, yes, this is me. And I was like, oh my God, okay. So we started talking. Um, and that was that was the beginning of seeing that, oh, there can actually really be a structure for newborns. There can be a structure for night
Hmm.
times.
Yeah.
Whereas like with postpartum doula training, it was like whatever the baby wants,
Yeah.
wherever the baby wants to be, like just whatever,
Yeah.
much, but like I can actually go into what is physiologically most helpful for the baby's sleep rhythm and sleep conditioning and how can I really help this little one get on their best foot
Yeah.
so that the whole family can be on their best foot. And
That is
I love it.
that is amazing. Tell everybody what you're doing now.
I'm taking a break.
No, you're not. Julia's breaks are nothing like my breaks. When I take a break, it's like
Oh,
everything is off. She's
okay.
doing her
Oh, oh,
lactation.
oh, oh. Oh, yes. Okay. So yes, so I'm taking a break from clients at the moment, although I have some that are going to be happening in about a month from now, and those will be postpartum clients. Um, but the I'm working on getting my lactation consultant uh, certification.
Yeah.
Yeah, my IBCLC
I'm so proud of her.
license.
You're doing so, oh, you're doing so much and you're doing so good. And I love to see that. I love to see that.
Thank you,
And
thank you,
I've
thank
got a couple of questions for you, my dear.
you. Yeah, yeah. All
I
right, I'm
want
ready.
you to tell people what shows you've been on. And I
Oh,
want you to tell people, if you want to, what your current project is.
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's good. So, um, when I was in LA, I did a few guest
Here I
spots.
am.
No, they were, like one-liners or like small things. There's one where I actually was an Emmy presenter, but it hasn't come out yet. I don't know what is happening with post-production, but that'll come out later. Um, I mean, you'll see a snippet of me in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You'll see I had some lines and then they were edited out. So you just see me I'm one of the Victoria's Secret models in, oh my gosh, Two Broke Girls.
Oh, I used to always watch that.
Yeah, yeah, I was one of the models in one of the episodes. Um, I was in, uh
Oh, she was in Yellowstone. Come on,
Yellowstone.
I've got to
Thank you.
tell
Yeah. I was
everybody.
a news reporter in
Oh, she
Yellowstone.
was great. As a matter of fact, I watched it. Just so funny because I was with my girlfriend and we're watching it, and she comes on, and I'm like, Julia's supposed to come on, but that's not her. And then all of a sudden, you gave a look, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Julia. Look at that's Julia. And I couldn't believe that. I don't know that you looked so different or if it was just the context of what you were doing. But anyway,
Yeah.
I finished Yellowstone last night. It was so good.
Oh,
Have you watched the rest of it?
no, no. Okay,
Oh,
gotta watch.
it's
Okay.
so good.
Okay. All right.
Oh, it's
Okay.
so good. Okay.
This is
Anyway,
also a pitch for Yellowstone, everybody. We love, we love Yellowstone here. Um, um, and so what I've been working on for the past 8 years that is finally coming to fruition is a screenplay. It was a television series for a while. Now it's a movie about a midwife in the Irish potato famine. And the concept that I'm exploring in it is how do we survive the unsurvivable? And how do humans cope with things that should be overwhelming and way too much? And the answer that we come to is like stories and magic and faith.
and
Yeah.
I have had the
You've read it.
privilege of seeing the script, and it is jaw-droppingly amazing, is all I can say. You did such a good job. Such a good job. So we're
Um,
keeping our fingers crossed that this is all going to go through, and it looks like it is.
yeah, yeah, so
Looks
far
like it
so
is.
good. We've got
Yeah.
some big names attached and next portion is pitching
Oh,
to some companies. So that'll be really exciting.
and
And
then
so,
she's going to be sure that I get a part in the movie.
oh gosh, Nancy, I'm just trying to hope that I get a part in the movie.
I hope you do
But
too.
if you'd like to be one of
No,
I will get you a part in the movie, Nancy. You
no,
want a part in the movie? I'll get you a part
no.
in the
I
movie.
do not want a part in the movie. I
I
do not.
will. I will. And I can't say that for most people, but I would get you a part.
Oh,
Okay.
I think it would be great if you got the midwife part.
Oh gosh.
That would be
Well,
so amazing.
the I wrote myself a part. Like Una, well, we'll talk about that
Yeah, yeah,
later.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Later.
yeah.
Yeah.
The main
Okay.
character has to be Irish. Anyway, so yeah. Yeah, I do a bunch of stuff.
And I think we both do. I mean, it's newborns are our life, but newborns aren't our life. Does that
Yes.
make sense? I've got a whole life outside of this, and it's mainly involving my family. My family is really, really super important to me, and I've got three grandchildren that I'm close to. They all live here, so it makes it real special. And I
Oh,
love watching them grow up and seeing them. They are 28, 28. 20, and 16. And my 16-year-old asked me last year if I would take him to Yosemite Park for a week. And we went and we had a ball. My 16-year-old grandson, I still can't believe that he wanted to go with me.
That is so cool.
It's so
And
cool.
the trip, right?
And what?
He planned the trip.
He planned the whole trip. He planned every hike we went on. He planned where we were going to eat. He planned everything. He was amazing.
Oh,
Absolutely amazing. Yeah. I got good family.
you do.
I got good family. Yeah.
Oh,
So Julie and I are both in Phoenix right now. So we kind of like that.
oh, it's the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I travel for work when I do contracts, I don't feel glued to Phoenix.
Right. No, I never did either. I did a lot of traveling throughout my 30 some years. I did a lot of traveling. As a matter of fact, you know how Facebook brings up your memories all the time?
Yeah.
Most of my memories are, well, I'm in so-and-so today. I'm at so-and-so today, and it's just like, wow. I don't,
What's your favorite place that you've ever worked?
not California.
Not California. Okay.
Most people would say California. My favorite place was when I worked right outside of Aspen.
Ooh.
And oh, I'm trying to think when, I think it was summertime. I know it wasn't winter for sure, but I'm not sure if it was spring or fall, but I think it was summer. But it was so unbelievably gorgeous,
Oh,
unbelievably gorgeous. And just hiking the trails and taking care of a mama and her. I've been up that way 3 times, I think.
wow.
3 times.
Okay.
So I've done, and they were all 24/7 jobs.
24/7. How
Yeah.
did you have time to go hiking?
Oh, I always got a break.
Okay.
Oh,
That's
yeah. No. Yeah.
that, like, ladies, when we say we're working 24/7, yes, but also there should be a break.
Oh, there has to be a break. I I used to take 4-hour breaks.
Yeah,
Now I take 6-hour breaks.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
But
too.
4 hours was really stretching it at first because everybody thought 24/7 is 24/7 and you're like a super mom. You don't need
Yeah,
sleep. But you've got to get your rest and you've got to keep your sanity about you, so
yeah, I'm with you.
yeah.
Oh,
What
all
else do
right.
we?
I mean, I feel like this was pretty good.
Good. I do too.
I feel like we covered a lot. And guys, if you have any questions about who we are or why we do what
Yeah.
we do, please be, and oh, I mean, I guess we didn't really go much into like what courses, like our resumes.
No,
But you can always reach out and ask us about that. We've both done lots of trainings,
yeah.
um, lots of education, uh,
Yes,
that
absolutely.
we'd be happy to talk about. But this was more about us and who we
Yeah.
are.
And if you took any Gentle Ventures training, I'm a mentor. If you took the postpartum doula stuff, we're both mentors, and you'd be much more wise to call Julia than me
Oh, if
because
for
she
postpartum stuff. Oh,
postpartum stuff. I'm just like, yeah, that's just not part of who I am. I am only a newborn care specialist, and that's where my joy has been. And I don't care to go into the postpartum work, but
yeah, yeah.
like
And
like
that
you
makes
do,
a lot of
like you
sense.
do, yeah,
Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense.
yeah.
I'm I get that.
If you, and you're so young yet, you could, but if you had to do it all over again, is there something different that you would do?
I would have gotten my NCS training a lot earlier. I would have gotten it a lot
Okay.
earlier so
Yeah,
that I
see,
could brought it in.
and I think that if I had to start over again,
Yeah.
I'd get a lot more. I think I'd be a lactation consultant. I think I would probably take the doula and even though I might not use it very much, I still want that background. And I think there's nothing that I would encourage people to do more than get more education.
Yeah.
In whatever job you're doing, just get more education. You'll
Yes.
never, ever regret that. I have people that have pages of classes they've taken. And it's like, I almost envy them. They have so much knowledge, so much knowledge.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's true.
Yeah,
It's true. Yeah, you'll never regret having the education and the knowledge to
absolutely not.
bring to your families that you work with.
Yep, absolutely not. Okay, I think we're
Okay.
going to wrap it up. I
Yeah.
hope that we kind of broke the ice here and you guys feel very comfortable in contacting us or talking to us or sharing with us or whatever. Please subscribe and like us if you have enjoyed this. And we'll see you for the next one.
See you for the next one.
Yep.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.